Tonight's officials for this America East contest: John Garbinski, Michael Paulo, and Casey Ketz. Again, New Hampshire with a win on this Tuesday night to wrap up the regular season, clinches the number 4 seed in the conference tournament, which means a home game here in Durham. That didn't sound pretty. Off someone's thumb, out of bounds. That had to have hurt.
Yeah, not the ideal way you want to start a game.
Lowell ball. They are led by Josh Gantz, grad student. He's a captain as a grad student. Connor Withers, the freshman. Lutete, also a captain this year. Obadiah Noel, he has the ball now, averaging 20 a game in conference play. And Ron Mitchell, the freshman point guard. New Hampshire, Maltsby, Sutherland, Nick Guadarrama, Josh Hopkins, and Chris Lester, the 4th-year junior. There is Noel picking up where he left off last time out against Vermont. He is a special scorer.
Yeah, we talked about Lutete in the open, but Noel's right there with them. I mean, he leads the conference in conference games in terms of scoring. This is a 1-2 punch that Riverhawks lean on.
Riverhawks again have a chance to finish as high as 6 in the conference standings. Last year they won 15 games. If they win tonight, they'll get to 13, nearly upset Hartford in the conference tournament a year ago. And this is a team that averages 75 a game. That's tops in the conference.
Yeah, they come out and score. It's how they're going to defend will be the key for them.
It's Mitchell for 3. 5-0 run to start the game for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, good ball movement there. They start up top, bring it down to the near side, cross, catch UNH, giving separation, and they drain the 3.
Now you've got one of the best offenses in Lowell. New Hampshire, one of the better defensive teams in the league. Bill Harrion said, back to the defensive identity we had 2 years ago with some really powerful inside presences. The difference with this New Hampshire team, they can play inside, outside. Guadarrama step back 3. Lutete the rebound.
Yeah, good defense that time. You just talked about Lowell needing to play good defense. They did a good job. UNH had no ability to penetrate and forced to a tough 3-point shot.
Here's Noel, pulls the trigger off the heel. Nice rebound by Hopkins. His defense this season sometimes goes unnoticed. On the break, it's Maltsby to Guadarrama, and he draws contact. Gantz is whistled for the foul.
Well, this is what UNH is going to need to do. They're going to have to come out, defend well, come up with transition. You take a look here again. Maltsby, a guy we talked about, dishing it off, and Guadarrama going hard to the hoop, but taking the smack.
Substantially better at the free throw line in conference play. This is a young man who shot just 48% from the free throw line a year ago. Jeff, he's up to 69% this year and shooting close to 80% in league games.
Well, they got a couple of UNH. They got a couple of young players last year. Guadarrama, Maltsby, 2 of them, and now they've got a full season, basically 2 seasons under their belt now. Of course, we give them the announcer jinx, but
that was bound to happen.
Of course, but this is, you can see where they're going. That young movement, they're going to have that down year, and now this huge turnaround.
UMass Lowell 2 for 3 from the field thus far. Lutete, one of the best finishers in this conference, his first bucket.
Letting the Wildcats know, too, a little flex at the end of that drive. The sweeping layup with his right hand.
Now, these two teams got together February 1st.
Yes.
Lowell squeaked out a win. They blew a 10-point lead down the stretch. Hopkins off the mark. Lowell shot 54% from the field. They have 3 players on this team shooting north of 50%.
Like you said, scoring, they can score. That goes off a UNH player allowed. Not a turnover for Lowell there. But they could score, and they did squeak out their win. It was Lutete hit a couple of free throws.
Noel off the window, but too strong. Maltsby playing with a lot of confidence as of late. Guadarrama, diagonal cut in with the contact. Sutherland tried for the offensive rebound. Noel boxed him out.
A strong move to the bucket. But I'm impressed with Lowell's defense so far. Oh.
Mitchell whistled a pass in. Gantz missed, and now it's Lutete on the deck. He's playing like a grad student, there's no doubt.
You can see this nice strong move. Better defense, just they couldn't get the rebound. And you talk about Lutete being the grad student, heads up move to get that timeout, secure the ball before a held ball, jump ball, or a travel. Job of not allowing too much penetration for the Wildcats, forcing them into outside shots. And that's what they're going to have to do, especially as we get into the tournament time. Championships, the cliche, always won on defense.
Coach Harrion, intense as always, jacket is off. Lutete splash. He's up to 5 points, 9-point lead for the Riverhawks. This is unfamiliar territory, at least for UNH, considering it's won 4 in a row, and they've gotten off to good starts in this win streak.
Yeah, especially at home, too. Home cooking's been huge for them. There's another missed 3.
Wildcats 0 for 4 from the field. Coach Harrion shares words with his staff. He's going to his bench. It's Mark Carbone. Mitchell, the pull-up J. Timeout Wildcats. Just the start UMass Lowell was looking for on the road.
Yeah, and they're getting contributions from just about everybody, too. It's not just Lutete and Noel. And if you're UNH coming into this, you're
called the timeout early in this first half. 16-16 remains on the clock. Hot start for UMass Lowell. Riverhawks on a 7-0 run. New Hampshire scoreless, Jeff Poster, over the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, just see what they drew up out of this timeout. See if they can settle things down. They got to find a way to penetrate this interior Lowell defense.
Lowell is really digging in defensively, something they've struggled to do this season. They allow 76 a game, which is most in the conference. Carbone up fakes, dribble penetration. It's Lester for 3.
Outside shot that time, but it's a good look. They come in, dish it back out, leaves them open for the 3.
Chris Lester still has 2 years of eligibility after this season, currently enrolled in the New Hampshire MBA business program. Graduated in 3 years. 32% from downtown this season. And that halts a 7-0 Riverhawks run. Lutete looking to enter to Allen Blunt, the junior from Bowie, Maryland. It's Lutete who takes it himself.
Wow, what a nice move. I mean, Lester, what else is he going to do against him there? He's backing down. Lutete switches hands, goes to the left, and still scores, making it look easy.
Playoff-like atmosphere. You feel the tension on both sides, at least defensively, digging in every possession. Maltzby hangs in traffic off the heel.
It's a little too strong. Good hops, get into the paint.
Lutete with 7, Mitchell has 5, Noel has 1 bucket as well, tries to kick. He does so, shot clock is down to 10. Lutete weaves into the defense, and there is a foul. I think they'll hit Lester with a blocking foul.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Lester goes down, just trying to do everything he can against Lutete. So he comes over with the help, and he looks like he's trying to get in the paint to try and set for the charge, but he is way too late to sit down after that one.
That is the first personal against New Hampshire. UMass Lowell by 10. Riverhawks can finish as high as 6 in the conference standings. UNH with a win tonight. It secures the 4 seed. A home game this Saturday. Sutherland wants to run. Jaden Martinez fresh off the bench. He's a sophomore from Cibolo, Texas. Noel reaches in on Guadarrama.
Well, they're not going to get free throws out of this, but I like seeing Martinez come in here early. He had a nice night in that first matchup against Lowell.
Yeah, went for 18 points, 7 rebounds. He made 2 of 5 3-point attempts. New Hampshire very thin. Sorry, Jeff. Very thin team.
Handful.
Yeah, they play 7-8 guys, and Martinez off the mark on his first attempt. And that's the case this time of year for most college basketball teams. Your lineup is whittled to 7 or 8 guys playing major minutes. New Hampshire, though, very thin in the front court, so foul trouble has been a problem for as dug in as they are defensively.
Chris Lester take that early seat. Don't want him to get him that second foul, but he's already back at the scorer's table.
Perhaps a quick mental breather.
Yep.
Off the toes of Martinez, nearly turned into a pass.
Can't catch a break here right now, the Wildcats.
Noel full steam ahead, and they'll get Hopkins on the block.
Should be going to the free throw line here, and Noel he's going to be the scorer. Lutete is on the bench for now and looking to come back in as well.
Noel, a solid free throw shooter, especially in league play. He's taken 194 free throws. He's made 130, so 67% from the line. Lowell gets to the line 21 times a game. That's tops in the conference, top 50 in the country.
Well, it just adds to that scoring punch that they've got. It's part of the reason. They find a way, even if you can't make the shot, if you can get to the line, that's almost just as good.
Still Riverhawks by double digits. Sutherland drawing a whistle. Number 3 as a team against UMass Lowell.
A nice drive by Sutherland. And Wildcats are starting to add up some fouls here. This third on Lowell.
You want to talk about improved free throw shooting. Sean Sutherland has done so as of late. He leads the Wildcats in attempts with 111, 53% on the season. Junior college transfer, Sheridan College, his old home in Wyoming. New Hampshire gets it into single digits.
Just got to keep chipping away. You know, you dug yourself an early hole, but you got into the free throw line a couple of times here.
Open look for Withers.
Right back in Lutete, and he's immediately impacting.
Jordan Owens is into the game for the Riverhawks. Nice catch and delivery by Withers in the paint.
And it all starts with that rebounding. It's right now, it's kind of funny. It's almost like these teams have flipped their style coming into tonight. This was UNH, the team that was a rebounder and a defensive juggernaut, and so far it's been Lowell getting the boards. There's another one there off a miss and playing the good defense.
UML once led 12-1. New Hampshire 1 for 9 from the field. UMass Lowell is 7 of 12. As a team, it shoots 46%. That leads the conference. Right now, 58% in Durham. On the floor, this is Thomas. Crossover by Owens. Too strong.
Well, like I said, you're going to try and force someone besides Noel and Lutete. So UNH is happy with that shot.
Noel is getting a rest at the moment. Nice backdoor to Sutherland, but lost it out of bounds.
It's a tough angle for Guadarrama to make that pass. I mean, I like the cut by Sutherland to come along the baseline. Too tough to make that pass, though.
America East basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Hercules, a proud sponsor for the entire America East tournament, which starts up on Saturday on the men's side. Women's quarterfinals start tomorrow. And just overall for the men's side, it's been a really great year. A lot of parity. Vermont's been knocked off twice at home. Sutherland whistles by, tipped by Martinez. Loose ball to Carbone. Penetrates, had a lot of room. Lester, just short.
Carbone's got to take that shot. I mean, he had an open look at the basket and he dished it back out.
Stunned how open he was.
Yeah. Got to capitalize in transition the way that Lowell's been playing defense. Offensive foul.
Alan Blunt went for it all, called for an offensive foul. It's New Hampshire basketball when we return. Wildcats struggling from the field. Just 1 of 11. We'll see if they turn it around when we come back.
Sherry and his staff has put together. I mentioned how he had those young freshmen last year. Maltsby, one of them, bringing the ball up right now. Guadarrama, but they have learned on the fly. They were forced into it last year, and it's rewarding right now.
Lester a couple of times hasn't got the friendly bounce. New Hampshire now 1 for 12 from the field.
Yeah, it's just been ugly. Even out of these timeouts, they're not getting anything. Another foul. Just not getting in. These easy shots just aren't falling for him.
That's Marquis Maltsby's first. New Hampshire with a win tonight at home clinches the number 4 seed, the final quarterfinal home game of the America East tournament, which starts on Saturday. A loss, they still have contention for that 4 seed, but need some help.
Yeah, you don't want to have to rely on other teams to do the work for you.
Step back Jay by Khalil Thomas, the freshman from New Orleans, who only plays 12 minutes a game. He's getting some early run from Pat Duquette. UMass Lowell can finish as high as 6. As low as 7th for the conference tournament. Sutherland rips back his own miss.
Yeah, reset.
In attack mode here. Had it stripped.
There's that interior D again. This time they knock it loose for Sutherland. And looked like he had a nice little sequence there, getting his own miss, and was going to get another opportunity.
Riverhawks scoreless in the last 2:40. Tough take, Blunt, just in and out.
Yeah, that was good help this time as Martinez came over.
Sutherland might have been his toughest take of the night, and of course that one goes down.
Yeah, well, maybe that gets him going, you know, seeing the ball go in the net. And it's not going to have to be like that transition game that I was talking about. Lowell misses. You can't miss two.
Sutherland now 1 of 4 from the field. UMass Lowell scoreless the last 3 minutes.
Here we go. Get out and run.
Midway point of this first half in Durham. Maltsby slings it out. Double team comes off the screen. Lob into Martinez. Has the mismatch.
Dish it back.
Up and under move goes though, Mr.
Don't
Poster.
listen to me. That looked like an near impossible with the footwork. I was looking like he was going to travel with that foot, but Martinez showed me. I mean, he stuck with it and found a way to bank it home.
Riverhawks once led 12-1. Owens in traffic. He wanted a foul. It's a jump ball. Possession to the Wildcats.
I think this is the right call. Lester looked like he got up above the shot. And just that big hands. Let's take a look again. You see Lester, he gets over in position. Yeah, he's just up on top of that. That's the right call. His right hand up on the very top of the ball.
Lester gets a well-deserved breather. Coach Harrion can't take breaks, unfortunately, during the 40-minute game.
Well, that's why the jacket and the tie are
He's
they're
already
going
sweating through
immediately.
the shirt. He's got the Buzz Williams sweating through the shirt going for him already. Still a lot of basketball left. Lowell by 7. New Hampshire has made a little noise. Sutherland toying with the D. Noel switched. Now it's Martinez in and out.
That's a good look. Just didn't go down. Here's the guy you got to stop the other way, though.
Lutete, perfect 3 for 3 from the field, 7 points. That's his second turnover, though.
Starting to feel a little more confident against their defense on him.
Guadarrama wide open tray. Carbone with the heads up to kick it back out.
Yeah, nice move. In transition again. Carbone goes to the corner. Guadarrama all alone. He'll peg to peg.
7-0 run for UNH the last 4.5 minutes. This is the freshman, Connor Withers, reverses, Hopkins rescues the miss.
Withers, the freshman down there, trying to play in the low post. I don't know if that's his natural spot.
Carbone, a beautiful bounce feed, and Sutherland does the rest.
Well, ball movement is starting to happen now for the Wildcats, and the movement without the ball, too. It's a nice job.
9-0 run for New Hampshire, and this is where you start to see some of the blips in Lowell's defense. Can score it, but defensively they've struggled to stay glued together over the course of an entire game. This is Withers, one-on-one, no foul called, off the back rim.
That's just a missed opportunity right there for Withers.
Hopkins for 3. Bit of a heat check.
He's thinking lead right there with that shot. Don't start to play hero ball. Just keep doing more work. Another. Oh, wow.
Noel the other way. Draws a blocking foul. New Hampshire's bench erupts. 2-point lead for UMass Lowell, but the Wildcats, led by Nick Guadarrama, riding a 9-0 run into the break. Game and get some help. But it's still a lot going on here. 2 through 7 still up in the air in terms of destination.
We only know 2 things. Vermont's #1 and Binghamton's out. Everything else is still kind of jockeying for position left and right, up and down. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Hartford and Stony Brook could flip-flop 2 and 3, and then New Hampshire, UAlbany, UMBC. either one of those teams, either one of those three could be the 4, 5, or 6, as Lutete is into double figures already with 10. He's 4 of 4 from the field.
But it also speaks to the parity, too, going back to the standings, the playoff picture, the parity that America East has had this year. Just because Lowell can only finish as high as a 6 doesn't mean they're a bad team. The conference has just been pretty even. It's good to see.
Another easy bucket for the Wildcats. It's Guadarrama. He is now up to 6 points.
Leading scorer this season for the Wildcats, a young sophomore. Starting to get going here.
UMass Lowell once led by 11.
Foul underneath.
It's Carbone. He's guarding the ball tightly. That is number 5 against New Hampshire.
Now Lowell's been getting the calls basically right at that spot. Just outside the semicircle, left-hand side of the basket.
Well, you see so many teams now in college basketball wanting to shoot the 3. Lowell can take 3s, but they only make about 6 a game. They take it right to the hole, and they're very efficient doing so. And they draw fouls.
That's just the way basketball's going, though, too, though. Everybody loves that 3-point shot.
Withers, tough turnaround. The freshman from Manassas, Virginia, averaging 17 a game over the last 5. And this is what Lutete does, Jeff. He can force whistles, and there on the offensive rebound. That's one thing that Pat Duquette's been happy about rebounding-wise. They've tightened that margin. They might not out-rebound the opponent, but they've kept the margin tight, and they're getting offensive rebounds as well.
Yeah, and you're playing against one of the best rebounding teams in the country here tonight in Durham. And Lutete not only gets that foul, but then gets the rebound, but then he also draws that foul, which is a little bit of a late whistle, but the right call. Hopkins a little late, kind of smacked the arm. Good foul, though, for him. Lutete only makes 1 of 2.
He is one of 3 Riverhawks to have 1,000 career points. Himself, Josh Gantz, and the junior Noel. UMass Lowell still relatively new to Division I, but it's the first trio in the program's history to get over 1,000 points each. Carbone fakes, swivels in. And it's last touched by New Hampshire, according to our crew. Again, John Garbinski, Michael Paulo, and Casey Kett are officiating crew for this America East game. UMass Lowell at 6-9 in the conference. New Hampshire 8-7. Lowell beat UNH back on February 1st in a tight game down the stretch. Lowell had a 10-point lead with about 1:30 to go, and New Hampshire rallied. Christian Lutete, as you said, Jeff, made some crucial free throws.
Yeah, right at the last second.
Oh, Gantz. High-low action, except it was extremely low. Lutete, the finish, she's up to 13.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of everything. This time you see Lutete moving without the ball, and good facilitation by the Riverhawks to find him on that backdoor cut.
5 minutes to go, first half at Lundholm Gym in Durham. Martinez jabs, gallops in, turns around. Deflected by Lester. Withers wrestles out the miss. Now it's Noel.
Yeah.
And they draw yet another foul. That is now 7 against New Hampshire. They are in the bonus.
Yep. Lowell's going to be shooting free throws here for a good amount of time at 4:45. And see Martinez, he's backing up, and then he's just not really committed to be getting into that position. Riverhawks know it. As Noel knew it, and he just drove right into him. He knew he was going to get that whistle.
Obadiah Noel, a junior from Frederick, Maryland. 3rd active leading scorer in the America East Conference. It's good company. He's only behind a guy like Anthony Lamb, who has dominated 4 years at UVM. It's 1-1. I mean, Noel, the talent, the promise was there 2 years ago.
Yep.
5-time Conference Rookie of the Week. Made the all-rookie team of the conference, studying criminal justice at UMass Lowell. Left that one way short.
Well, Riverhawks, they might be in the bonus, but they have not exactly been great at the free throw line so far.
3 for 6 as a team, shooting it at 72% this season.
Defense. Good help defense there from Gantz. Came over. Looked like the Wildcats were going to have a wide open man coming right to the basket. Gantz just tapped that pass away. He wants it too down low now.
Interesting call by Bill Harry, and Josh Hopkins stays in the game with 2 personals, 15 in the gray jersey. Mitchell, step back 3, way strong. Hopkins with the rebound. Nice box out by the junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. Hopkins up to 3 boards. Under 4 to go in the first half. Maltsby stops, pops, short.
A couple of times we've seen Wildcat players stop with that jab, the little hop, and then the shot just doesn't fall. You got to keep going.
Noel sets up shop. Mitchell around the screen into Lutete. He's yet to miss tonight. 5 for 5. Or that's Blunt, pardon me. Lutete trying to get the miss. UNH the other way. Wildcats shooting 25%, 6 of 24. Sutherland draws 2. Blocked by Gantz. Surprised he didn't kick that out.
Yeah, Gantz, he's playing well defensively, but you're right. They're getting swarmed. Riverhawks doing a good job on the help as we get the turnover here.
Lutete gives it away for the 3rd time. High intensity here in Durham. Less than 3 to go in the first half. Riverhawks by 7. Also rebound the ball. He's got 8 rebounds in this game, which is huge for this Riverhawks team. They struggle to rebound. When you have a guard that can get to the bucket and get points whenever you need to, he can also rip down some misses for you.
Yeah. Just about 2:59, 3 minutes for all intents and purposes left in this first half, and he's nearly got a double-double. I mean, you can't ask for better production than that, especially from not your, like you said, a guard going out there doing it all.
New Hampshire scoreless over the last 3 minutes, 34 seconds. Carbone for 3.
Tested 3. Got to come up with a better play out of a timeout than that.
UMass Lowell is out-rebounding New Hampshire, 21-17. Again, this is a Wildcats team that's number 1 in the nation in defensive rebounds, number 3 overall rebounds. Sutherland's hit with a foul, and again, UMass Lowell's in the single bonus, 18 fouls against New Hampshire.
A couple more free throws, or at least a 1-and-1 attempt here. But you're right, it's still a lot of time, and to be in that first bonus just can extend this lead as we creep closer to the half.
Noel's had a tough time at the line, now 2 for 5.
But like I said a few minutes ago, they have not done themselves very many favors at the line thus far.
Well, Bill Harrion was concerned considering when these two teams met back on February 1st, UMass Lowell got to the line 14 more times. They scored 14 more at the line as well. That was the difference in the game. Guadarrama in stride from Carbone.
Huge, great pass there from Carbone. A little low, Guadarrama. This is what UNH has done well tonight, moving without the ball. Find a way to make those cuts, make the passes easy, and you'll score. Get right back in this.
Guadarrama has 8 to lead the Wildcats. Lutete is still the high point man overall with 13. Shot clock's to 10. The freshman Mitchell surveys, dumps it into his classmate Withers. Still on it, 6 seconds. Blunt out to Mitchell, 3 to shoot. Withers doesn't see the clock.
Tough sequence there for Withers in that whole scrum. I mean, he goes down on the floor. I was impressed that he was even able to get the pass so that he could stand back up, but then just no awareness of where the clock was. At least throw it up. Maybe it hits the rim and you give your team a chance for an offensive rebound.
Well, notice too, Jeff, I mean, 2 freshmen giving it back and forth. I mean, those are just situations where more reps. And
yes, exactly.
It's a high-pressure spot, too. We can't say it enough. So much is up in the air between 2 and 7 in terms of seeding in this Saturday's conference quarterfinal round. Guadarrama is off to a roaring start in this first half. He has 10.
Yeah, Guadarrama, a nice job just showing his strength over Withers there. It's tough back-to-back sequence for Withers.
The other way, Mitchell, pretty finish.
Extending with the right hand, sweeps across the body of his defender and gets it to rattle in.
UMass Lowell halts a 3-minute scoring drought. Maltzby swirls in a triple off the screen.
Right in Lutete's face. A little crossover, gets around the initial defender, drains it.
Oh, Noel, right in Lester's grill.
Anything you can do, I can do better, I guess, right there. Trade back and forth.
Riverhawks have now made 4 of 9 threes. They want to keep running. UMass Lowell down to 42% shooting in this first half. We're in the high 50s for the most part. Now they can hold for the final shot.
This is a big defensive stand for the Wildcats. I mean, to be only down 5 with the way they started this game, it was 12-1. Way back when. And now they have an opportunity, if they can play strong defense, come out of this 2-possession game.
Blunt was attempting to draw a foul. It turns out he took too many steps.
Very close there. That looked like Guadarrama was dead to rights, hung up in the air. Let's take another look at. No, we won't do that. Final shot.
Guadarrama using his quarterback arm that he was so great with in high school at the Perkiomen School, just comes up short. UMass Lowell by 5, 29-24 at the end of 20 minutes. America East men's basketball regular season. Well, New Hampshire, again with a win, takes care of that 4th and final home game for the conference tournament on Saturday. Even with the loss, still in contention. What's the key for UNH here in these final 20 minutes to come out on top?
Well, they got to keep moving well without the ball. They started to do that. They started to make some backdoor cuts, get some clean passes that broke through the interior of Lowell's defense. And they got to pressure the other guys, not named Noel or Lutete, and on cue.
Stays hot. 6 of 6 from the floor. 16 points for Christian Lutete.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't want to go to the break for halftime the way he was playing, but like you just said, stayed hot. Didn't seem to matter.
Well, Coach Duquette told us at halftime, we need him to be that dominant force for us, but other guys have to elevate their offensive games. Lester dumps it in. Guadarrama hesitates, and look at that. He was carrying the load down the stretch. He picks up where he left off.
Yeah, he's getting low, open, down low, underneath, and he actually started that play. He dishes it back up top, pulls the defense a bit back outside, and that leaves him open underneath for the easy 2.
Back down to 6. The freshman Withers catches and delivers. Lutete can also feed the big man.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, but that should make Withers feel good. And he had a rough time down the stretch of that first half. A couple of times he got beat up on the defensive end, lost the ball and a shot clock violation.
Second bucket for the freshman Withers, who's averaging 11 a game in conference play, 6 rebounds. Shot clock's to 7. Maltzby gives it up. Lester left the 3 short.
That's not the shot you're looking for.
UNH now, Jeff, 3 for 12 from behind the arc, a team that makes 8.5 threes a game. Gantz hesitates, rolls off the iron, tipped around. It's Hopkins who boxed out his man.
A little fortunate they got the ball there. The Gantz missed.
Maltzby, Air Jordan-like to the bucket. He draws a foul.
Nice hang time there for Maltzby. Just didn't go down, but this is what you like to see too, UNH. They're good defense. So you see another look. Get out and run. Maltzby will get himself a couple of free throws out of it.
Just 3 points for Marquis Sauce Maltzby. Teammates call him Sauce. He's been feeling it as of late.
Yeah.
Double-figure scoring in 4 of his last 5 in this 4-game winning streak for New Hampshire, which again, with a win tonight, secures the 4 seed in this Saturday's quarterfinal round of the conference tournament. 13 a game for Maltzby in that stretch with 6 rebounds. He was 14 of 15 at the free throw line during the win streak.
Hard to imagine that both of those just rimmed out.
Having only missed 1 free throw over the last 4 games, he misses 2 on that trip. Riverhawks by 8 here in Durham. Final game of the regular season. UMass Lowell can finish as high as 6, as low as 7. Withers the catch. He was looking for Mitchell coming.
He thought he got pushed from behind, too.
3 on 2, and Guadarrama soars, draws contact. He heads to the line.
He had 2 quick fouls here against the Riverhawks. Still 17:41 remaining in the second half. So if the Wildcats can get the Riverhawks to take another look, and it's the running of the big man, Guadarrama, up the floor with Maltzby. So twice now, Wildcats haven't been able to make the shot. You see Bill Harrion down on one knee as always. Matt Duquette on the other side, but got to make these free throws, especially getting too early.
New Hampshire as a team now 3 for 7 from the charity stripe, same as UMass Lowell.
Which had made the comment in the first half, but despite what Lowell had done, part of the reason that the Wildcats were only down by 5 at the half is because they kept missing free throws, and now all of a sudden UNH can't make them either. 0 for 4.
Maybe there's a lid on the rim.
Yeah, switch sides, you know? No one's making free throws at this end.
So, Jeff, the Wildcats have now missed 4 consecutive free throws. And there's a foul against Carbone. This is off the ball inside. That's the second on Carbone. Hopkins has 2. Sutherland also has 2 personals. And for the Riverhawks, Gantz, the grad student, has 2 personals. He's up top, dumps it into the freshman Connor Withers. Trying to fake out Carbone. 10 to shoot. Obadiah Noel off his foot. Has it back for 3. Off the heel and in. What a bounce. And UMass Lowell, Jeff, has now matched its largest lead, 11 points.
Yeah, how often does that kind of shot happen? Seem to just sit there for a split second and then just gradually and gracefully roll into the net.
Odd bounces on this Tuesday night. Final night of the regular season in America East men's hoops. Still a lot on the line. 2 through 7 in terms of seeding. Still not decided. Sutherland, attack mode. The runner, short. Guadarrama tips. Out-muscled by Withers.
Wildcats haven't been doing a good job when UMass Lowell bodies up on them cleanly. They've struggled when they draw contact and not get a foul to put a shot up and gets a go down. A wide open look.
Lutete off the mark.
He's human.
First miss of the night.
Unbelievable. 16-22 still to go, and he just missed his first shot.
He's now 6 of 7, 16 points, 8 rebounds. He leads the team in both scoring and rebounding. Top 7 in the conference in each of those categories. +6, UMass Lowell on the glass. New Hampshire, the #1 rebounding team in the conference, #3 in the nation.
We talked about that coming into this game, and throughout the first half, it's almost like I said, the script's been flipped a little bit. It's been Lowell's defense and rebounding that's been a big key for their large lead tonight.
Guadarrama, a quarterback in high school, threads the needle on the bounce pass, but out of bounds. New Hampshire scoreless the last 3 minutes. That's turnover number 5 for the game.
I mean, that's the kind of movement you want for the Wildcats, to try and get it down low like that. Again, moving without the ball is one of the keys I talked to, but that pass just off the mark. Too low.
Withers is denied. Wildcats want to run. It's Sutherland. Kicks. Carbone. Guadarrama, extra possession. Wildcats on the O boards. That's number 4 of the night. They average the most in the conference per game, 11.8. Carbone, high-low. Guadarrama denies himself off the rim. UMass Lowell got a piece of it. Mitchell for 3.
Nobody wants to make a shot all of a sudden.
Track meet.
Yeah, exactly. Up and down the floor.
Guadarrama thought about kicking it. 5 minutes into the second half. Up and down we go at Lundholm Gym. Hope you brought your track shoes. Sean Sutherland did.
Somebody finally is able to find the bottom of the net for the Wildcats. Couple of opportunities left and right with second chances mixed in, and good block from Withers in the previous possession, and Sutherland, again, running without the ball, making that cut.
Lutete dances around the pick. Bill Harrion's emphasis pregame, stay connected to your man. Mitchell blows by Carbone, back up to 11.
Hey, Mitchell's a small guy, you look at him, but man, he's got long arms. They stretch out. He can reach, and he's got good hands that just lets the ball finger roll off the end of his hand. It's impressive.
Freshman from Philadelphia, averaging 8.5 a game, Jeff. Pull up Jay Sutherland. flickers out of bounds. Well, the Riverhawks remain in control, up 11, outscoring the Wildcats here in this second half, 10-4. Lutete doing it all, but Sutherland can match him. We'll be back in Durham. Jeff Poster alongside. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Both of these teams fighting for seeding, positioning, however you want to call it, for the Hercules Tires America East Conference Tournament, which starts up tomorrow on the women's side, and for the men, they start up on Saturday. Great time of year. We're in the month of March and still a lot to be determined. 2 through 7 still up in the air in men's hoops. Noel on the run. Largest lead for the Riverhawks, Jeff, 13.
That's good by the Riverhawks. You can come out of the timeout, keep your foot on the gas, extend that lead. Well, we saw it. Wildcats cut it down to 5 at the half after being down by 11. They have another run in them.
Jaden Martinez has an answer for you.
Pretty good start right there. Knocked down a big 3, and he's trying to rally his teammates on the floor. He's talking a lot right now.
Coach Harrion has told us all year, head coach of New Hampshire in year 15, this is still the first go-through for our guys in terms of being in a spot to win. And they've won 4 in a row. They've played in huge games. But he's still wondering if his team can respond. He hasn't put too much pressure on them leading up to spots, but he calls these guys ballers. They know what's at stake, a home game on Saturday.
And they've been so good at home this season, too. So to get a home playoff game would be huge. Right now, the Riverhawks are feeling right at home.
UNH 10-2 at home this season. Maltby off the screen. Wildcats 4 of 15 now from 3. Notice something on the glass there.
Yeah, same teammates going up. You saw Martinez, and I believe it was Lester. Might have been Guadarrama, as I see him shrugging his shoulders at the other end there. 2 guys went up for it at the same time and ends up going out of bounds and back to the goal.
The regular season champion Vermont is on top of UAlbany by double digits. That helps New Hampshire. And UMBC and Stony Brook are in a barn burner in Baltimore.
Back and forth game down there.
How about Noel rattles it in? Obadiah Noel, the junior from Frederick, Maryland, leading the conference in conference games, scoring with 20 a game. He is up to a total of 14 in this one.
Off-balance shot, too. That was a tough shot that he knocked down. Speaking of tough shots.
Hopkins way strong. New Hampshire 25% from 3, 4 of 16. Yep, Withers runs the floor.
They've stopped moving the ball here, and since this timeout, everything's one and done.
Lowell really has dictated the tempo, there's no doubt.
Good defense there, and see if they can get something in transition.
Maltby a little helter-skelter, but draws a foul against Mitchell. Let's see if New Hampshire can change their woes at the free throw line when we come back. Less than 12 to go in regulation. New Hampshire needs a win and some help to get a home game on Saturday. They've got to get it together. New Hampshire with a loss is in a spot where it could drop to as low as the 6.
Yeah.
Or be the 4 seed with a couple of losses elsewhere. But right now we're learning UMBC is up by 6 on Stony Brook. UMBC has that golden ticket, Jeff, a win over Vermont, the 1 seed. Point being, New Hampshire has to put something together here. Should say they've won 4 consecutive games leading into tonight. In the win streak, outscoring their opponents on an average of 10.5 a game. Unfamiliar territory, being down 12, under 12 minutes to go.
It's been a while since they've been facing this spot, and nice to see Maltby this time knock down a free throw. And it's been the 2 guys, Noel and Lutete. 16 and 14 points for Lutete and Noel, respectively. There's only 2 other guys on Lowell who have scored tonight. Withers and Mitchell. So if you can just find a way, I know it's a tall task, but turn a 3-point play in there out of nothing. Tall task, if you can find a way to maybe just shut down one of those guys, you should be in good shape.
Well, when they met at the beginning of February, Lutete scored 23 and Noel scored 21. Riverhawks won the game by 2.
Offensive foul. So timeout so far has proved to work.
It's against Alan Blunt, junior from Bowie, Maryland, off the bench. That's off the ball on the weak side.
Yeah, away from, but you see his reaction there right at the last second. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
9th Riverhawks turnover. Back to single digits. Riverhawks led by as many as 13. Nice chest pass into Guadarrama, but he dances. A little flustered.
Yeah, he's going to be careful. He's frustrated right now, understandably so, and heated. But he's just trying to do a little too much there underneath. He's spinning. He's taking extra steps as a result. One pump fake, you get your guy up. Either he doesn't foul, you get a clean look, or maybe you're going to the line.
You know, Pat Duquette, 7th-year head coach of the Riverhawks, one of his keys to the game was, can we match the physicality of New Hampshire? While they did commit an offensive foul, I'm sure he's happy to see his guys are dug in on both ends, not just on D, but offensively setting hard screens. 5 to shoot for Withers. It's Blunt for 3. Yes!
There's a third guy to score as Blunt gets his first field goal of the game, and a big one at that. That was good inside-outside game there as Withers fed him. Get that open shot.
Blunt played at Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C., part of that great conference, the WCAC. Carbone, anything you can do, I can do better. Timeout, Bill Harrion. It's a 9-point game. Timeout, Bill Harrion. He wants to give his guys a rest. Almost at the midway point of this second half. The ball, UMBC with a win, and a New Hampshire loss here in Durham means the Retrievers are the 4 seed for the conference tournament. So UMBC is in good shape. UAlbany is also in contention for that number 4 seed, but at the moment down 17 to Vermont. One scenario that does go, Jeff Poster, New Hampshire's way is both of those teams, UMBC and Albany, losing, and New Hampshire losing. They would all just be at the same spot they were entering today. Today wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, didn't even matter if that. But again, all these teams really, you can't rely on other teams. I mean, especially if you're UNH, you're in the driver's seat in that 3-team scenario. You win, and that's all that matters. You don't even have to care what the other teams did. But right now, it's starting to look like a tall task.
Blunt is fouled by Jaden Martinez. He couldn't help himself. That's a great up fake by Blunt. And oftentimes you talk to coaches before games, Jeff, and you ask, okay, hey, who's a player for your team that maybe isn't dominating the stat sheet that's played really well? And Coach Duquette point to this young man right here, Alan Blunt. He's really given him nice minutes off the bench.
He just hit that 3 right before the timeout. They're trying to find, like you said earlier, that third scorer. Who's going to be the guy? Obviously, Lutete and Noel, they're going to get theirs, but who can be the next guy up that can give you that third option?
Mitchell has 9, the freshman Ron Mitchell from Philadelphia. Neither team wants to make free throws tonight. UMass Lowell is 3 for 9. New Hampshire is 4 for 10.
Wildcats nearly just lost that out of bounds on a long rebound. But you're right, free throw shooting has been a massive struggle. This could be a very different game if one of these teams was a little bit better than the other at the charity stripe.
Khalil Thomas commits the personal. Bill Harrion sweating through the blue shirt per usual. I don't think he, now look, New Hampshire's won 4 in a row. I think he's worn the same shirt. Wildcats have been going with these gray uniforms at home. A little superstitious.
Whatever's working, you know, don't change it. If it ain't fixed, ain't broke, don't fix it.
Sutherland, tough take. Rolls off the rim. Sutherland now, Jeff, 3 for 11 from the field.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for him. He's been trying to make those reaching, kind of hook-esque type shots as he goes into the basket, and it's just not going down.
Noel dumps it in. This is Blunt. Up fakes, draws another foul.
Yep. Telestrate that one from a mile away. These up fakes are getting to the Wildcats right now. It's just the third, though, on the team.
For Sean Sutherland, 3 personals.
Yeah, he'll have to take a seat. There you go, Alan Blunt right back to it. This time able to knock down at least one.
Alan Blunt, a little bit of a late bloomer in terms of his high school career. He didn't start playing varsity basketball for Gonzaga College High School until his junior year. Had interest from Patriot League schools like Navy and Colgate. He's now 1 for 4 at the line. New Hampshire still in striking distance, down 10.
10 is always that magic number. You know, if you can get it to 10, you're always in decent shape. You're in that, but at some point, you got to get closer than 10.
Well, these possessions feel a little rushed right now. And we said it during halftime. It feels UMass Lowell has really dictated the tempo, making New Hampshire play at their speed, up and down. Not to say New Hampshire can't play that way, but they'd prefer to slow it down and really challenge them defensively. Lowell's shooting 46%.
This might go as a charge. No.
Noel barrels into Lester, but Chris Lester is hit with the blocking foul.
Noel, who, I mean, he's going to take the brunt of this, too. I mean, he's holding his knee a little bit, and I thought Lester might have gotten there in time. That's a close call. It's just that kind of night for the Wildcats. They're also trying to kind of shake that leg out.
He's turning his hips a little bit, too. Obadiah Noel, Jr., 1,000 points in his career already. He's the 3rd active leading scorer in the conference. His teammate Christian Lutete is right behind him, 4th active leading scorer. Lutete approaching 600 points this season, which is currently a new UMass Lowell Division I single season record.
It always takes time when you make that jump from whatever division you're coming up into the next one to establish those players that can really make that recruiting process, make that jump, and you're seeing guys like Noel and then Lutete transferring over. Lowell's starting to become a destination for these players at the Division I level.
Done a great job. I'm a resident of Lowell, or a native of Lowell, Mass, so totally co-sign there. And Lutete, another blocking foul.
Now this one, he might have been in the restricted area. Let's see this again, take a little bit. Where are Lutete's feet? Yeah, that back foot, his back right foot is on the line. So he might have been there, but you can't be there.
He can't be in the restricted circle.
Right. So that call, that's a good call. I know the fans don't like it here. It's same 2 players involved in him. That's 3 on Lester now, too. So Wildcats, who looked like they were going to get Lowell in the foul trouble to start this half, and all of a sudden it's even at 5, and 2 key players with 3 each.
And 5 players have at least 2. Martinez, Carbone, Hopkins, all with 2 each. Sutherland and Lester, to Jeff's point, have 3 apiece.
Well, Lester, I thought he was coming out, but appears he might have been bleeding a little bit because now he's got his arm wrapped up.
Yeah, on that right shoulder of Chris Lester.
I guess that'll happen when you get knocked down to the floor in less than 30 seconds.
Well, and if he somehow helps New Hampshire rally back, he can get that piece of tape autographed after.
Yeah.
It will be a marquee win. How about Christian Lutete? 19 in the game. And UMass Lowell is up 13, back to its largest lead.
He doesn't care who's guarding him. He's going to shoot it over them regardless. And that time he's got Lester out of him. He's a big body, hand in his face. Nice move.
Sutherland reverses it up and in. 10 points for Sutherland. He has 6 rebounds as well, 4 of 13 shooting.
Wildcats have to defend the perimeter better. It's another foul on Lester.
That is 4 for Lester. 8 minutes to go. Lutete bidding for yet another 20-point game in his career. The grad student is rolling. Lowell by 11. Poster, final night of the America East regular season. Billy Harrion, head coach in his 15th season, all-time winningest coach in New Hampshire history, said to us before the game, these guys are ballers, my team.
Yeah.
They understand what's at stake. I don't need to tell them, even though they're a young basketball team. Still their first go-around in a big spot, and right now they've yet to respond. What do you think the key is for New Hampshire to turn this around, running out of time?
Well, again, if it's in their head, you just got to, it's hard, obviously, but you got to mentally block that out and just play the game that you've been playing these last 4 games. Continue to move the ball, play your game, don't play Lowell's game. There you go.
There's a break. The freshman, Khalil Thomas, tried to tightrope the baseline, stepped out of bounds. So win for New Hampshire tonight secures the 4th and final home quarterfinal game this Saturday. We were chatting during halftime. You could be in a spot where you're sleeping in your own bed for the next 3-4 nights leading up to a playoff game, or you're getting on a plane to go to Baltimore to play UMBC.
Malski can't squeeze home. Yeah, it's the little things like that. You don't think about them. Martinez with the nice lay in there. But yeah, those things, your own bed, your own room, you know, the food.
The gym, your own gym,
everything.
Your fans.
Your whole life is here, and then you got to pack up and go somewhere else in a much high-pressured situation. I expect this would be a packed gym, too. Should it be here?
Noel twirls through another blocking foul. That's it for Leicester.
With 7:08 remaining, too. I mean, I'm surprised. I know you need him. I'm surprised he came back out of that timeout. I figured he would sit till about 2 minutes. That one's even closer to the last one. He's asking, Coach Herring's asking, was he in the circle? Like I said, the previous charge, or non-charge, blocking foul, he definitely had a foot on the line. We could see that. This one, I don't know, this was a little bit closer. He might not have been.
Coming up on 7 minutes to go, Chris Lester has fouled out of the game. 9-point game.
That's a big blow, big loss for UNH.
Mark Carbone checking in. Yes, without a doubt, Lester is technically a senior in academic standing. So Noel to the line. New Hampshire at 7 team fouls. Let's have one more look at this, Jeff.
So he's starting to move away. Here's the drive. Very close. I mean, it's not going to work out. They can't review this. He's done. But, I mean, he tried to take 3 charges. You commend him for trying to take those charges. But I don't know the decision about bringing him back in with the 4 fouls out of the timeout.
Carbone was at the scorer's table. Hopkins off the mark, and now you start to wonder for New Hampshire when they get the ball. They lock in defensively, but now you start squeezing the ball a little bit. You want to move it around. The question is, with this young basketball team, who can put the ball in their hands and go get them a hoop?
Who's going to be the go-to guy here? I mean, Guadarrama is their leading scorer this season, this game. He's been quiet, though, the last few minutes, since the opening minutes, really, of this second half.
Shot clock is down to 5. Withers, the freshman, spins.
Stepped out. Or are we getting a push out? Yep.
Carbone's called for the foul. That's his 3rd. 18 fouls against New Hampshire.
Now it's the Wildcats interior defense that's struggling. I mean, Carbone is he's got beat to the spot there. Withers switched directions on him, goes along the baseline. Carbone trying to hang on. He's got that hand check foul. Withers fell down, might have added to it a little bit, but either way, he's just beat to the spot.
Marquis Maltby, the only Wildcat in terms of the 7 guys they play in their rotation, who is not in foul trouble. He only has 1 personal.
They're going to have to lean on him defensively then, because if Lowell's smart, they're going to attack these guys.
UMass Lowell now 6 of 14 from the free throw line. That was the first attempt for Withers, stolen by Noel. He's got 16 in the game. Lutete has 19. These two rarely leave the floor. When they met up on February 1st, each scored north of 20 points. Gantz into Withers. He's keeping his dribble, falls away, off the window, strong. Less than 6 to go.
Tough night for Withers.
He's battling, though, on the glass in the same breath. He's got 7 rebounds. Hopkins for 3.
That was a good-looking shot.
And the foul is called against the Riverhawks.
This is Withers again. This is a good-looking shot. Open, wide open look. Actually, no, it's not Withers. That was Gantz.
That was Gantz on the glass. So they call a foul on Guadarrama, or pardon me, on Gantz, who was bodying up on Guadarrama. Now, he kind of took that hit to the face, and Pat Duquette did not like it. We're going to get word from the officiating crew right now what's going down. So we're getting word from our crew right now. Again, officials John Garbinski, Michael Palau, and Casey Kett. This was called a common foul against Gantz. They're reviewing to check and see if it's a flagrant one, potentially. Which seems a little...
I would think so.
A little absurd. I mean, you got to give Coach Duquette some credit. Gantz is just trying to make a basketball play in that circumstance.
He's going up. Let's take another look. I mean, Gantz, he's got his arm locked in there. But this foul, it's Guadarrama who goes down. And does he do anything after? I think they're trying to say maybe his elbow, his left arm was elbowing Guadarrama. Here we're going to get the official word now.
Just got word, common foul against Gantz, which is the right call.
I think so,
in our opinion. So it's New Hampshire ball underneath. 5:36 to go. New Hampshire is down 11. A win for the Wildcats secures the number 4 seed in the conference tournament, which means a home game this Saturday in the quarterfinals. A loss and a UMBC win, which is looking likely in Baltimore. New Hampshire is traveling in the opening round. Retrievers up 12 is what we're hearing. Guadarrama, tough finish inside.
I think Maltsby got away with a travel there too, so Wildcats catch a break. They're gonna have to keep using that good energy going forward here. Final 5-10. We got it back down to 11. Or excuse me, 9. So you're in single digits.
Blunt goes high-low, and this might not be a bad idea. They might play the foul game on Withers, who has only taken 1 free throw. Maltsby picks up his second. 5:01 left. Lutete is still sitting on 19 points. Guadarrama just went over his season average. He has 14 to lead New Hampshire. And this is Withers. This season, 82% at the line.
Finally gets one to go. I mean, he's just been 2 of 8. He said he's had a tough night defensively. Had a nice block though. Towards the end of the first half. But offensively, it's been a struggle, and he's gotten beat a couple other times defensively down low too. But big free throws for him right there.
And he bounces back in a big way again. 82% on his freshman campaign coming in. Under 5 to play, 11-point game. Guadarrama short.
That's a line drive 3.
This is Thomas, the freshman. He's played a lot of second half minutes instead of Ron Mitchell. Lutete weaves in the finish.
Unbelievable.
Another 20-point game for Christian Lutete. He's got the palm out, down low, keeping the crowd silent.
Yeah, and he's a mirror image for the rest of this Lowell team too. I mean, the more shots he keeps making, he and the rest of this Lowell team just keep getting more and more confident as he's second sick away. They're looking for that number 6 seed. He's UMass Lowell River. He's done a good job rebounding the ball. He's been beaten a couple of times defensively. Not there though, and at that point, that's when Guadarrama was really looking to get in his groove. He comes up, looked like be an easy basket, and just denies him. Good play.
How about Sutherland off the bounce, scallops in for 2, and by the way, Withers has not 1 but 2 blocks in this game to lead the Riverhawks. Nick Guadarrama has 2 blocks. We're going to approach 4 minutes now. 11-point game. UMass Lowell has led the entire game and is led by as many as 13. 6 and 9 Riverhawks can finish as high as 6 in the conference standings. This is Noel, the junior, kicks to Lutete. Another 20-point game for him. Weaves through and scores. Flexes the muscle. Christian Lutete now up to 23 on 9 of 10 shooting.
Right hand, left hand, doesn't matter. Off balance, tripping his way to the hoop. He's still going to score and going to get a steal. Should have let it go.
Stepped out of bounds at the last moment. He wanted the foul called against him. Felt he got wrapped. And by the way, Lutete has scored more than 20 now, 15 times in his grad student season.
Yeah, you see it right there. He would have been better off just letting it go. It would have been Lowell ball. Just kind of came to him like a magnet, though. It's been his game. Of course the ball wants to go to him.
Sutherland, too strong. Stays in bounds that time.
And you see
he didn't take your advice.
Yeah, he looked right at the baseline, too, as he got that rebound. I believe that's 9 rebounds for him now. He's creeping up on that double-double.
He's had 4 double-doubles this season. This is Blunt, backdoor. Lutete, short. Second miss of the night.
The Wildcats finally doubled him up.
Pardon me, Jeff. UMBC is up right now by 12 at home to Stony Brook. New Hampshire needs to make a run to try and host on Saturday. Hopkins well short.
Wildcats are looking like this is going to come up short on their end. These 3 balls just weren't their friend this evening. That's 5 of 22 shooting the 3 today.
A team that makes
23,
and they make 8.5 a game and shoot it at 33%, which is, or pardon me, 33%, which is 3rd best in the conference. It's amazing how this team has won 4 in a row, and how one loss, one circumstance, and there's still some time here, but how one game can just change the whole narrative in terms of the feeling and how gut-wrenching it might feel right now. They knew they could stay here through Saturday. That's not going to be the case unless they make a run.
And in his face, Lutete missed, but you're right. All of a sudden things change. UNH comes into this feeling good, 4 in a row. Talking about the turnaround, it has been a turnaround. It's a nice move there again.
First bucket for Josh Hopkins, now 1 of 7. He missed his first 6.
They need more from him in his final 2 minutes.
You know, when Lutete takes that 3, Jeff, a moment ago, he's trying to just put this thing away. He's looking for the icebreaker.
And that probably would have done it, too. I mean, there's a glimmer of hope here, down 11, but the Wildcats, they're not going to get many more possessions here if they keep allowing the Riverhawks to take it all the way down like this.
Clean block on Blunt, 4 to shoot, tosses it back up. Withers, offensive rebound. The freshman Thomas took a 3.
I don't know why he shot that, Ben. You could have taken that almost down under a minute.
Into Guadarrama, he gets fouled. It's a huge change in the game. And just remember, when these 2 teams met on February 1st, UMass Lowell led by double digits with a minute and change to go, and New Hampshire only lost by a possession.
Well, if they can keep getting to the free throw line, so they're in the single bonus now. Took a while to get there. They had 2 fouls against the Riverhawks in the opening 2 minutes of this second half, and 5 over the next 18 or so, 17 minutes now. They're going to have to keep getting to the line. They themselves are going to have to foul, and there's not a lot of guys who can give too many.
No one has more than 3. Lester fouled out earlier in this second half. Guadarrama up to 16 points. Now 3 for 6 from the line. 9-point game, 1:19 to go. And New Hampshire takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
To the 3 spot.
Right.
Hartford, heard earlier, beat, if they can come away with a win at Maine, but we'll see. And here we go, full pressure.
They get it over, 3-on-1. Carbone pushes Noel, and he just tosses it up.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's getting free throws regardless.
Like we said before the break, Jeff, I mean, you win 4 in a row, you come into a big spot, you win, you take care of business, and amazing how the air can come out of the balloon that quickly. Now, instead of being here on Saturday, UMBC is the longest trip of any school in this conference. So you're getting on a plane to go to Baltimore to take on a Retrievers team that is certainly used to the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Back-to-back years being in the conference championship game. 2 years ago as a 16 seed, upsetting Virginia.
Still players around from that, too.
Yep.
So they're used to it, and it's not even just that, those little things we talked about, too, and the fact they have to travel. Just mentally, everything changes. You were coming out of this to end the season to win 5 in a row and host a playoff game, which you hadn't done in several years. That's a big thing. All of a sudden, just mentally, it's different. You no longer, that 5-win streak's gone, as well as getting more time off the clock here.
Martinez had a foot on the line, so it's just a 2. New Hampshire needs a turnover. Hopkins picks it up. Pulls up. Yes! 7-point game.
Deja vu.
Can UMass Lowell hold the lead? Noel is fouled right away.
And Carbone, gutsy, trying to jump in there and get the steal. And Withers having a little bit of trouble getting it in, but a couple of big plays from UNH. Is it just that, is it too little too late at this point? 42 seconds left, and that's it for Carbone.
Well, Mark Carbone does have another year of eligibility. He is a junior. He played 1 season at San Diego. This could be his final home game of the season.
Hopkins opting to not take the 3 that time, and the struggle it's been tonight.
I think he was looking for an open shooter.
Just take it, yeah.
Considering Lowell was back looking for the long ball on the press. So Noel is in position to have a quiet 20. And let's just keep in mind, we're talking a lot about New Hampshire seeding. UMass Lowell can finish as the number 6. Last year in the first round, faced the 3 seed Hartford and gave that Hartford team full of seniors a run for its money. We don't know yet what the 2 and 3 is yet because of Stony Brook and Hartford not being secured. So this UMass Lowell team, based on this performance, they're playing some of their best basketball of the year.
I wouldn't want to play UMass Lowell in the first round. They're not going to be an easy out for anybody.
That might do it. Maltzby turns it over. Lutete escapes into the freshman, Thomas. Lowell feeling good. 10-point game. And that is going to lock things up.
Yeah, I mean, they came in here tonight. They knew what they had to do. They knew what UNH wanted to do, and everybody loves to play the spoiler. They're not going to get a home game regardless out of this unless there's some upsets, some big upsets headed into round 2, including a UMass Lowell win on the road. But they came in, they dictated the flow here tonight. You got the usual performance out of Lutete and Noel, and just enough in that second half from the surrounding cast to just pull away, as it's going to be right around a 10-point victory. You can see what Guadarrama does.
We've talked about this throughout the course of the night, Jeff. New Hampshire 10-2 at home this season.
Yeah.
Hard team to beat here at Lundholm Gym.
And that would have been a big factor. Another mental note that they could put on their resumes and their opponents would have to worry about if an opponent came in here on the road. You're coming in to face an 11-2 team at home. That's tough, but now the script flips a little bit. It changes, and UNH, hope they travel well, because they're hitting on the plane.
Silence here at Lundholm Gym. UMass Lowell comes in and upsets the Wildcats 63-54. New Hampshire has to hope Stony Brook makes a run down the stretch in Baltimore. If that is not the case,